Those to get started. Excellent. So health and vitality. Great call today. Really, when we talk about health and vitality, it's not only just being healthy, but it's also having great energy levels. Great, it's really, really important to have great energy levels because we're not really having good energy around what we're wanting to achieve. Then sometimes we can feel flat and tired, etc. But still be reasonably healthy. Still be okay to do what you need to do each day. And today we're going to do what we call a superconscious recode, which is removing the resistance around our chakras and our energy levels within our body to actually be able to taking action to have more of what we love in regards to health and vitality. So if you do have a current health problem or something along those lines, and you're wanting to actually understand it and work on it, then this is a great place to be because we can actually understand that a lot of the resistance to having a healthy body is purely our own beliefs, our own past traumatic experiences. Now we have three, three reasons of how we get ill, how we get sick, or how we get dis-ease, which is really, really powerful. We have the first one, which is thoughts of things, what we think about. Now, this could come from going to the doctor and he indicates that we're unwell, and we've got a certain amount of time to live, or you'll never heal from that, or whatever it may be. It may be passed down from family parents. Mum died of this, dad died of that, so there's a high chance it's hereditary, and you'll have the same. And that was certainly the case for me with my parents. They had a heart condition, and when we broke it all down through the generations, obviously, it was just the poor diet of having too many creams and dairies and fatty foods, which was blocking the arteries to the heart. So then the third one, of course, is traumatic experiences. And when we have a traumatic experience from the past, our body struggles to heal from that because there's too much pain on the memory. Now, our unconscious, for everyone here that's probably watched the education video at the top of the Facebook page, that's fantastic. If you haven't, just play along as best you can, and then obviously get a chance to get in there and watch that, because it's really important that we do as much education around this work before we do the superconscious recodes. So we have a traumatic experience from the past, and this could simply be from a family or from school or what it may be. We hold on to the pain of that memory, and the reason we hold on to it is so our unconscious can jump up and put these feelings and emotions in our field so that we don't have more of the experience in the future. Now, the example around that is that little 5 or 6-year-old schoolgirl who went up in front of the class and fell over, and she got a massive fright, and the whole class laughed at her. Now, as she fell over, that little 6-year-old, she was just going up the front of the class to show the whole class a painting she'd made of her weekend with her parents. Now, she obviously had this beautiful picture and obviously wanting to share it, but because she's fell over and hurt herself, she then has a traumatic experience that getting in front of people is painful, it's uncomfortable, it hurts, and I'm not doing it in the future. So that pain is attached to that memory. So every time in the future when someone says to her, like an employee or an older teacher, I want you to get up in front of a group and talk in front of people, she'll be like, no, I can't do that, there's too much pain. Now that's just an example of a traumatic experience, holding on to those emotions and feelings, which is the pain, for your entire life. Now we will hold on to the entire life until we remove it. The beautiful thing is when we learn about the superconscious, which is our field of information, we can remove that emotions and feelings off that memory. And when I first started learning this work, 18 months ago, it absolutely blew my mind how fast and easy this is to do once you know the education. And this is why I've built what we've done and put this group together so I can share it with the world, share it with you guys, so you can have a better and more easier life of understanding that you can just have anything now. You can be more vibrant, you can be more healthy, simply by stepping into it and removing that resistance, which we're going to do today, which is really, really cool. So that little girl that had that traumatic experience, obviously as an adult, she might grow up and want to get up on stage and talk about being an inventor, an entrepreneur or sales manager, and she'll just have all this resistance to push through. Now you can push through that resistance, get up there with the anxiety, the sweats, and push through it and make it happen if you're really passionate about it and you've got that drive, which is great. There's a percentage of us that can do that. And when you look at the world's greats that have done that, like Michael Jackson, fantastic success, massive talent, but clearly had a lot going on. Donald Trump's the same. Lady Gaga, she cried half an hour before she'd go on stage to a full booked out house of not being good enough. So we know we hold on to these traumatic experiences. Now, when we hold on to it for a whole lifetime, when we start getting that age of 35, 40, 45, if we're still holding on to it, that's when our health benefits start to drop, because our immune system can no longer fight it because there's too much energy around it. And that's why at that age, we start to break down. So we'll find that once we remove any pain of past feelings from the traumatic point of view, simply the immune system can then focus on healing the body as it's supposed to, and you can get your life back to normal. And that's certainly been my experience through doing this work in the last 80 months. A couple of issues I had go on was removing what's in the way. And that basically is a feeling and emotion attached to past memories, as well as having the right foods. Because basically the third part of disease is chemicals. What are we eating? What's in the food? There's so much processed foods out there, sprays on our fruit and vegetables. So that's the three main causes of any dis-ease, uncomfortable disease, of thoughts of things, traumatic experience, or a chemical unbalanced diet. So we can, from a 3D, from our body point of view, we can easily, have clean water, change our diet, have fruit and vegetables that are spray-free, etc. We can do that. We can do exercise to get our body up, to get the energy levels up. We can start knowing and thinking that we're healthy, we're perfect, we're going to have this, we're going for it. And then we can remove the traumatic experiences, emotions and feelings from past events by doing this work. So that's all three we can cover. And it's amazing how quickly your body will heal once you're working on all three. It's really, really powerful. So I'll just quickly run through a bit of current reality and desired reality today for us. So if we were to think about the current reality, and here, and then we've got our desired reality. If we're in our current reality, which is where we are now, if we're wanting more health, or whatever, more energy, more vitality, whatever it may be, and that's obviously over here, we're wanting more health. Excuse me. So we want health and vitality. If we're wanting this and we don't have it yet for some particular reason, then over here, our current reality is less. And this is so important to learn, because this is all about structure. Being healthy is not about all of it that we think that is in our current reality. It's about stepping into our desired reality and just having it now, and being in the right structure of having it, rather than the structure of thinking that we're less or we're sick, which is thoughts of things. What we think about, we bring about. So if we step into just having it, being healthy, then we can start taking those actions around whatever that may be that we've already briefly discussed. Now, our body at all time, and you can ask any medical practitioner, etc., about this, has 2 to 3% of any form of disease, cancer, etc., in the body all times. Your body's never 100% happy, because it's always picking up bits and pieces, and then the immune system's fighting it. So we know for a fact, any time we actually have a small percentage of dis-ease, and we could have something really major, but it's still such a small percentage of the pie of the body. It's such a small 5% max, until obviously we allow it to spread. So in this work, we can step into the desired reality, remove what's in the way, change our health, change our thinking, and start having exactly what we want. Now, a big part of the energy source with our body system stuff is our chakras. We have 7 main chakras that run down through our body, from the top of our head to the bottom of our spine. And these are so important that they're healthy and doing their thing. Now, they are sound and light, and there's plenty of information to Google it for those of you who don't know too much about your chakras. But they're a very important part of you being and having energy levels. So you might be feeling flat. You might have some anxiety from the root chakra, or a bit of sadness. You might have a bit of being heartbroken previously from a relationship in your heart. You might not be able to express yourself. It might be, obviously similar with your throat chakra. You might not be able to talk about how you feel and actually be loud and sing out in groups of people, because you have too much shame from the past, from something. Whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. Today we're gonna move a whole lot of it, and you're certainly going to notice the difference. The fact is that we take on a lot of this traumatic pain and emotions and feelings from the past, and over a period of time, it can really slow our chakras down. Now, our chakras actually spin beautifully, and they can have a feel coming right out from our body when they're really, really healthy. And it's really, really important that we can really experience having healthy chakras, because it gives us our energy and our vitality to then start healing and have a better way of life, and a lot more energy in what we're wanting to focus on, living a life we love. So say, for example, in health and vitality, today I want you to choose health and vitality. And the reason we choose end result in this work is we want to step into exactly what we want, what we love. I want to be healthy and vitality just because I love it for no other reason. And we step into that and it's a closed eye. And the reason why we close our eyes is because our conscious perception can't see all the points of information going on, which, as we know, there's millions happening every second. And also then our unconscious believes it to be true. So we close our eyes and step into the feeling of being health. What is it like for us? What are we doing? And it's really important when we do this very shortly that you can really step into the emotion and feeling around having that exactly how you love it. Having that health and vitality, really stepping into where are you? What are you doing? What is it for you? And then the unconscious believes it to be true. And then naturally, then the resistance will come up in the field. Now, the resistance will be what's in here, why you can't have it. For example, we want to go to the gym 3 times a week. We may do that for 2 or 3 weeks, and then the unconscious says, "Oh, no, you're okay. You can do that next month," because there's new resistance around a new habit. Now we have our conscience in here, and then our unconscious. Now, unconscious is all about survival and feeling and keeping things the same. And this is quite crucial because unconscious doesn't like change. When it wants to keep things the same, it basically means it likes to keep its habits going, so it knows what you're doing to survive. So that's why when we go to change anything, it's really important we do it for at least 4 to 6 weeks before the unconscious realizes you're not going to die, because it's all about survival. You can survive from this. This is great. And then it goes, okay, well, then let's just keep this going. But up until that first 4 to 6 weeks, it's very, very hard to create a new habit. And I'm sure if any of you like me, you can experience that something in the past, you've gone for it, and after 3 or 4 weeks, you've either stopped it or the resistance has got harder and harder in here. Now, this resistance, for example, in health and vitality, it might bring us back down to here to Les and saying, you can't do that, you're sick, you're too tired, you've got body pains, headaches, joints, whatever it may be. This identity down here will pull us down here from creating that over here, which having health and vitality, being fit, lots of energy, whatever it may be, will pull us down here because this is what it knows. The current identity in this structure believes this because we're being it. And that's why we have to drop this, step into this structure, our desired reality, and then today we're going to remove some of this resistance that's stopping you taking that action. But it's so important, even if we look at what we need to eat and drink from our body, is to have at least a litre of good quality water a day. And there's so much stuff that's added to our water and in our water nowadays, depending on where you live in the world, it's really important that we have a good filter, that we take out a lot of the stuff that's not serving us. So we can actually, with our liver, we can have an orange juice, it's still liquid, but it's not pure water. The only way we can cleanse a lot of our liver and our other organs is actually having pure water, which is the way that it's designed. We're designed to naturally drink from the rivers and the mountains, etc., to have this good quality natural water. Just like we are with fruit and vegetables, grow our own, get a nice supplier from someone that grows local vegetables in the area, find them, source them. Because you go to the supermarkets nowadays, you can see so much stuff is packaged. So much stuff in the food that we eat in the last, say, 20, 25 years has dramatically changed. And look at the health benefits out there and the sickness for people, how all these diseases have gone up. So we really need to look at what we're consuming and eating and drinking, because it's so important that we're keeping our chemicals out of our body so we can focus on living a life we love and being healthy and vitality, which is so cool. So basically here, if we're in this structure, we're stuck. And over here, we're flowing. And just before we start, our conscious, our conscious is just thought. So it will always be thinking, oh, yes, let's go to the gym. Oh, let's watch TV. Oh, let's just do this. Let's do that. Because it wants an excitement of life. It wants to take out there and have enjoyment. It's your ego. It's what you think. But it's very different from your unconscious, which is all about feeling, survival, and keeping things the same. And then we have our beautiful superconscious. The superconscious is you because it's your field of information. It's when you were first connected with mum and dad and first created, that very first second, you were just a dot of energy. And in the first 4 weeks of growth inside mummy's tummy, you went through the point of being a fetus into that small baby. And it's on the 4th week, that's when the spirit comes into the baby, and that's when your heart starts beating. And this is proven through scientific, that your heart starts beating, and then you actually have an unconscious. So for the first 4 weeks of your creation, it was your superconscious that created you. The field of information, what you look like, your skin color, your traits, all your DNA passed down from mum and dad. Now, they've also proven on DNA, around the DNA, which has even got more information than DNA itself for people to learn about, is they call actually has junk. Now, this junk, which is attachment to the DNA, which changes through the generations, which is around your DNA, if we were to draw it here, with DNA, which is exactly the same DNA of all the body passed down, we have the junk around it. And these here are memories based on your mum and dad's experience of life, and then their grandparents' experience of life, and their great-great-grandparents' life. So it can be passed down to have survival, to keep the human race alive. And that's really powerful, because when we start to break this junk down, there's a lot of beliefs and emotions and survival patterns in there, which it can also be passed down family resistance. You know, there's the story of the gentleman who was a gunner in Second World War. So obviously all day he was firing artillery, boom, 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 you know, and he was always on the edge of feeling like he could die, because at any stage he could be bombed and be killed. But he carried on working, and he through the war and survived it. And then he came back home. And then he had a family, and the war was put behind him. He passed on, and then his granddaughter had a what would you call it, an ability of a dysfunction of every time she heard a loud noise, she'd get a fright. Someone would close the car door and she'd get a fright. And it was all the way through her life. And when we did this work and stepped into it, not me, but other coaches, they found that she had some junk in here, that if you hear a bang or a loud noise, run, because you could die. And that was passed down just to keep her alive. So once they removed that, and the superconscious removed it, she simply no longer got frights anymore. Now, I haven't had experience with that exact one personally, but I've worked with people that have had other stuff and been able to remove it. Heart palpitations, all sorts of stuff. And it's been really, really powerful to watch. And how it works is, why this work is so different from everything else out there, it's fast, it's natural, it's easy, is this. Our superconscious, because it is you, understands English. Because you speak English, it's you. Just like that little dot, the first 4 weeks of creation. The unconscious is created in the 4th week, the spirit comes in. You then have a superconscious and an unconscious. You get born at 9 months-ish. And then you go up, and at the age of 4 to 5, you start forming a conscious. At the age of 8, you have a conscious. Then you have all 3 consciousnesses. You've got to have thinking, survival, and information to create. So the age of 8, you could say to an 8-year-old, oh, you're silly. They'll go, no, you're silly. Say that to a 5 or 4 or 3-year-old, they'll just laugh. They'll think it's funny. Because at the age of 8, they've formed the consciousness. So how this work is different, and this is what's so exciting about it, is we actually get the superconscious to go into the unconscious and remove the resistance that doesn't serve us, whatever that may be. So basically, your superconscious put any memories into this unconscious through the DNA being created, all the way passed down. Most of it's between the ages 0 to 7. But any traumatic experience that are in our main personality or active experience in here, we simply go in and we remove the emotion and feeling off the memory and leave the memory there, and then it becomes wisdom. And for those of you who haven't seen it before, we have our neurons there. We have the emotion and feeling that's attached to this neuron. Now, when we do the superconscious recode, we're simply removing the emotion feeling off the memory, and then the memory becomes wisdom, and it then serves you. And that's when we can start removing this traumatic emotion feeling off these past memories. Our body starts to naturally heal again, because it's not focusing on that pain. It's not trying to resolve or fix something. It's just naturally healing. And that's the power of actually getting your body in the right designed reality, the right structure, so it can do what it's designed to do. So when we're in the structure, over here, we're creating a new identity. Now, who here has been in the situation where in their current reality being stuck, and they're trying to fix themselves, go for what it was, whatever they want, and the unconscious or the resistance throws up a cocktail of emotions or feelings or beliefs or whatever it may be to pull you back down here to keep it in the structure of you may need to fix yourself, or you need to do some work on yourself. You might read a book, go to a seminar, do some more personal development, whatever it may be. Who's been in the structure of trying to go for what you want, not getting there, and then coming back down here to your current identity, wondering what's going on? What's wrong with me? Why can't I just have this? Why can't I just be health? Let's just be it. Why can't I just have what I want, create this new identity, and have it all? The reason being is there's too much resistance in here. So when we're going for this, we're going for a desired reality. We might get in here. We could be isolating, which is a bit in the middle. We could have a little bit of health and success, having what we want, and then we come back. We're having a really, really good day, a good week, a good month, and then the health comes back. We could be isolating, and that's totally normal. It's totally fine. We get to choose where we want to be. If we're isolating, we're having a bit of both, compared to being stuck, going for it, and being pulled back down. Now, when we're going for what we want in this structure, write it up here for us. When we're going for it in this structure, we're simply being pulled back down. He'll do some more work, some more personal development, read a book, like I mentioned, go to therapy, get on a new diet, start a new gym, get a new trainer, whatever it may be, and then we're going for it again. Because this was certainly me. I was in the structure. Who has been in the structure before? It's going around, around, around. Throw a 1 in the chat box if you have. Love to see who can actually result to feeling and emotion of being in that result of being stuck, isolating. So the beautiful thing about it, it's completely normal, and it's probably the 80-90% of the world is in that structure, because society teaches us this. The personal development teaches us. The doctor health system teaches us. You have to have this, you must fix yourself in some way or form to have it. Whether it's pills or whatever it may be, you have to fix yourself. And you don't. All you have to do is step into having this now, use the processes in this Facebook group, remove this resistance, and have it all. It's actually quite a simple process. Not easy, and it does take 3 to 6 months worth of work, depending on how much resistance you have in here. But once you remove that, it's getting into here is easy, because the old unconscious is not trying to pull you back. Now, your unconscious here has this identity of your current reality of sick, having less, the body aches, whatever. When we get into over here to create the new identity of just flowing, having it all, this old identity has to die, and this is the painful bit. For this identity to be created, this one has to die, and identities don't like dying. So you find in this work, you get what we let the baby cry. 4 to 6 weeks into this work is when all this resistance starts shifting. The old identity will throw up as much emotion and feelings as it can to try and pull you back, because it knows that it's changing. The new identity is being created, and then eventually it disappears and becomes one. A new identity of just being health. So here we have it. That is structure. Success is not personal, it's just structure. Health is not personal, it's just structure. It's about being in the right structure, taking the action, removing what's in the way, and taking more action to have it. And like I said, exercise, the right food, plenty of water, whatever it may be for you, thinking positive, and having no traumatic experience, stress from the past. Excellent. Cool. Right. So who's enjoying this so far? For those new people that are on here, it's probably something a little bit new, and that's beautiful, because this work is new. This modality is only 3 years old. And like a lot of us that get in this work, we go searching to try and fix ourselves or what's wrong with us so we can help and serve others. And that was certainly my journey until I come across this modality. And then I spent $20,000, went out and got certified, and been able to create the success of the coaching company, everything since. And this is obviously giving back to you guys, so you can have more of what you want and less of what you don't want. So what I'd like you to do, if you've got a pen and paper there, is just to write down, I choose the end result of health and vitality. If you don't have a pen and paper and in the car, sitting in the car or whatever, or out and about, just choose it. Just really choose, I choose the end result of health and vitality. Really step into what that feels like. Just having it. And now what I'd like you to do is we're going to step into the end result of what it's like having that now. I'll just follow my words. We'll use as much emphasis as we can around that. We'll see it, feel it, breathe it, just knowing that we're having it. And then we'll see what resistance has come up. You'll actually notice it in your field. Then we'll come back to the current reality. What's it like now? What's the difference? What's in the way? And then we'll do the superconscious recode. Excellent. So I'd just like everybody to close their eyes and just step into that feeling of having the perfect health and vitality. Just step into having it all now. I choose health and vitality. Choosing health and vitality to gain control of your body. Just notice what it's like having it all now. I choose health and vitality. Being able to connect and reconnect with your creative power. Just notice what it's like. Having all that beautiful vitality and energy to create anything that you choose. And just choosing health and vitality, just notice where you are and who you're with. And choose health and vitality. Notice the exercise you love doing. Being down at the gym, doing yoga, bike riding out in the fresh, beautiful air. And just notice you have this beautiful creative power and energy to transform the body that you love. Just notice what that means to you and what that looks like to you. Who are you with and what are you doing having all this beautiful health and vitality? Having this beautiful energy, swimming, gardening, whatever it is for you, just knowing that you're healthy. And once you get those beautiful emotions and feelings, that beautiful heart-centered energy, and times it all by 10, that you're full of love and just being grateful that you have all this beautiful health and vitality and you can go and create anything you choose and connect with your body and have any sort of shape and look you choose. And just notice it all, how full of gratitude you are for it. That's it. And love and gratitude is the highest frequency. So when you step into this beautiful way of being, it's so beautiful just knowing that we can share to love ourselves and also others. And times it all by 10, times it by 20, and then open up your eyes. So that's our desired reality. And you might notice having your eyes closed, how much resistance comes up in your field around that. And that's the stuff we're going to work on. Now, what I want you to do is come now to your current reality. What's it like now? Is it less than that, what it was in your desired reality in that structure? What resistance do you have to having the desired reality? What beliefs have you got? Not good enough, not worthy, not capable of doing the full-on exercise. Not capable of sticking to that program for 3 months. Can't change your diet. Can't get into having more healthy vegetables and fruit and stuff. Whatever it is for you, just notice that resistance. It may even be that you have the fear of actually failing it because you've failed it before and you don't want to go down that road again. Whatever it may be, it's all resistance. So to really step in your current reality, I want you to notice exactly what it is for you now. Just notice what it is with that resistance. Good, we've got some excellent, I'll just open up the chat here. We've got some beautiful chats coming through, that's great. Difficulty speaking and sharing my knowledge of past experiences to get the results. Excellent, thanks Jupiter. Less resistance now after the recodes. Cool, yes, excellent. Yes, and we certainly do a lot of this work. Every time we do a session in this work and we remove that emotion of feeling off the memory, then it actually leaves our body and doesn't come back. And that's the powerful thing about it, is we do this work. Once you've done it for 3 to 6 months, you'll never need anything else because there's no more resistance holding you back from taking action, and you're taking action in your end result, which is so powerful. So what I'd like you all now to do is to pick a number for me between 1 and 10. And that being that 10, oh, sorry, round the wrong way. Monday morning itis. 1 is flowing, having it all now. Let's get my red pen on that. So 1 is having it all now. So if you're in a 1, that means you're having your desired reality now. As you can see, art's not my strong point. Here is 1, desired reality. Now 1 would be you're having it all now. You're having the full health, the vitality, you have everything you want health-wise. You're fit, you're healthy. That's the 1. You're out there taking action easy. And a 10 would be there's a lot of resistance to having this healthy body. So I want you just to step in and just think of the number. Thank you. Awesome. You're throwing in the chat there. Thank you. Just notice that resistance to having that healthy body. Excellent. Cool. And it's really important that we choose this number so we can actually see the conscious change, just our consciousness change at the end of the process. It's not anything to do with the process. It's just so consciously we can see the shift and experience it after just knowing that it's true. So here we go. So who would like to do the recode? Who here has never done a recode before? Throw 1 in there if you'd like to do the recode now, and a 2 in the chat if you've never done a recode before. There's no right or wrong in this work. It's just want to make sure whoever's not done a recode, then I'll do a little bit more education when I'm doing the process to make sure our unconscious is fully on board. Got lots of 1s. Awesome. Let's do it. Excellent, Julie. Awesome. Great to have you on board. Okay, so here we go. Just get nice and relaxed. We want to be centered with our legs and arms not crossed. Just nice and relaxed. And just close your eyes and take a big breath. Take a big breath, filling up the lungs with lots of oxygen. Just breathing out your mouth. And just remember, when doing this process, no parts of us die. We're simply removing emotion, feeling of past memories. It's all we're doing. And when we do this, we have more satisfaction and less pain. We're able to take action more of what we want and less of what we don't want. That's it. So really just step into that health and vitality. Just really choose it. Choose the end result of having it all now. Just step into your desired reality like you did before. What that is like for you. Where are you and what are you doing? And just notice it all. I choose this desired reality. I choose it. I choose health and vitality. I choose to be healthy. I choose to take action on what I love. And just notice what that action is. Step into it. How beautiful it is. And then in your heart, I just want you to, we'll say it out loud if it's your second or third time, whichever. Just give me permission to access your superconscious. Say, I give Greg permission to access my superconscious. Superconscious, are you there? Yes, cool. Superconscious, you can see this true choice we've chosen today. I choose health and vitality. Can you please create the perfect treatment plan, please? Thank you. I'm going to use a metaphor of a sports field. We've got 2 goals, 1 on each end, and we're on the sports field. We're up one end and we're looking down at the other end. And the other end is our desired reality. It's health and vitality. And we're on the field and we're going for it. But we've just realized that gophers dug a whole lot of holes and made mounds of dirt, which is our resistance to having our desired reality at the other end. How the superconscious works, we're simply going to go fill back in all those holes, smooth it over with a feather, so we can have more of what we want and less of what we don't want, and simply have that goal. Just be in that goal, be in that desired reality. Superconscious, do you fully understand this process we're doing today? Cool. Excellent. Superconscious, this true choice we've chosen today, health and vitality, can you please treat all masculine and feminine beliefs on this true choice, please? Thank you. Can you please treat all sabotaging beliefs? Not good enough, not capable, not worthy, insignificant, don't belong, and not perfect. Thank you. Treat it all the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. That's it, and just breathe that in. And you may experience some flicks in the body or some movement or parts of energy running through your body. That's completely normal. It's the emotions and feelings leaving your body. And just remember too, the end result of this process is you have less resistance to taking action. It's easier for you to take action on what you love. That's the end result, the desired reality, health and vitality. Superconscious, please treat any thoughts of fear, lack of confidence, being judged by others. Treat all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, what I'd like you to do now is just to visualize this beautiful ball of energy just above your head. And this beautiful ball of energy just above your head is about 1 inch above your head. And what I'd like you to do is to create a beam of energy going from this ball of energy up until source, up through the ceiling if you're inside, up through source, through the clouds, through the atmosphere, through the universe, the stars, go all the way up to source with this beam of energy. It's all the way up through the galaxy, all the way to the power of source, where we can get unlimited, beautiful energy. And I'd like you to have that pouring now down into this ball just above your head, please. That's it, pouring this ball of energy. It's just filling up this beam of energy from up above. And now with this energy pouring into the ball, I'd like you to connect it to your top chakra, to the top of your head, please, and pour this beautiful energy into your body. And as it connects and does so, it's now turned to this beautiful white energy, the beautifulest white energy you've ever seen. And it's coming down from above, pouring into this ball of energy just above your head, and then coming into your head, at the top of your head, and then down through your body. Just like a wave of energy. Notice it just going down through your head, shoulders, arms, hands, legs, and feet. Filling up your whole body with this beautiful white energy. This white energy is love and gratitude. And it supports all health and vitality. That's it. Just allow that beautiful white energy to keep pouring into your body. Filling up all your arms, legs, shoulders, neck, feet, ankles, toes, fingers, filling up your whole body with this beautiful white energy. Just notice it going around your whole body and filling up the whole lot, healing, and giving you a beautiful feeling of love and gratitude for all things. Learning to love thyself so you can love others. Filling that beautiful heart-centered chakra full of this beautiful white energy. Subconscious, please treat all body systems, joints, bones, back, shoulders, neck. Please treat all resistance and body systems to this true choice of health and vitality, please. Treat it in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. And just take some breaths, and I want you to continue, just keep focusing on your desired reality, what you're choosing today. You choose it. I choose health and vitality. Choose it from your beautiful heart. Choose it from your whole mind, everything. Just choose it. That's it. Subconscious, please treat all body systems in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Muscle groups, blood flow, body organs, knees, hips, ankles. Treat all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, we're going to focus on your root chakra, the beautiful color red root chakra. Superconscious, I want you to notice a traffic light and the stop color, the beautiful red of a stop color. I want you to focus on that beautiful red and pour that into your root chakra, which is the bottom of your spine. And just notice to get that feeling of this beautiful color red at the bottom of your spine. That's it, the beautiful red chakra. That's it. And the beautiful root chakra is characterized with emotions of survival, stability, ambition, and self-sufficiency. It has the power of positive emotions, of feeling more stable, being confident, balanced, energetic. Please treat any out of balance characters, please, in the root chakra. Any feeling of being unstable, ungrounded, lack of ambition, lack of purpose. Please treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. That's it. Subconscious also, please treat the sacral chakra, the lower abdomen, please. Now, creative, please treat any emotionally explosive, being irritable, lack of energy. Please treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. And just this beautiful sacral chakra, creating the beautiful energy in there, being more vibrant, happy, positive, satisfied, compassionate, and intuitive. Beautiful. And now we're going to focus on our solar plexus chakra, the bottom of the rib cage. Subconscious, please treat any resistance in health and vitality, any resistance in the solar plexus chakra, digestive problems, any diabetes, maybe some depression, lack of self-esteem, and perfectionism. Please treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Now, subconscious, I want you to notice for you what the beautiful color of green means. Have that beautiful green, maybe the go light of a traffic light, or beautiful veggie garden. Just notice the beautiful green to you, the perfectly ripe green apple, green pear, whatever it is for you. I want you to notice this beautiful green, and I want you to fill up your whole awareness and just noticing this green everywhere. And as you're noticing that, just like the white energy is pouring down into your body from the top ball of energy, this white energy is pouring in, I now want you to get the green and pour it into your heart chakra, please. Heart chakra, centered, filling up this beautiful power of the beautiful color of green, and how beautiful that is. And subconscious, can you please treat all resistance of any anger, lack of trust, anxiety, jealousy, fear, or moodiness? Please treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. And just breathe that in. Breathe in the beautiful power of the heart chakra to be energetic, confident, productive, and focused. Emotions of love, attachment, trust, passion, connection, belonging, and discernment. Just notice the beautiful heart chakra spinning, having all the love to give, loving myself so I can love others. That's it. You're doing really well. Just breathe it in. And subconscious, now I want you to think about the beautiful crystal blue lake or water or sea or the blue sky. And I want you to pour all that blue energy into your throat chakra. See this beautiful blue pouring into your throat chakra. It's like being in a group of people and you're all laughing and talking and sharing love, being able to speak and share anything you want to. You're compassionate, caring, optimistic, friendly, and motivated. And subconscious, can you please treat any feeling of weakness, the inability to express yourself, your thoughts, any quietness? Please treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. And just breathe it in. Take a big breath and breathe it in. Being able to truly and freely express myself in the beautiful throat chakra. Just visualize yourself on stage singing to the world or singing outside to the world, having all this power to speak and say and do anything you choose. Thank you. Subconscious, I'd like you to now focus on the third eye. Third eye, the front between our eyes, please, our third eye chakra. Subconscious, I want you to treat all physical problems, please, attached to your third eye. Any headaches, blurry vision, any eye strain, Treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. And then in replacing and increasing it with the beautiful vibrance, being confident, spiritually connected, emotionally relaxed, knowing you can see anything you choose. And just breathe that in. Now we can focus on our upper chakras, our connection to the ball of energy, our crown chakra. Subconscious, please treat all frustration, any melancholy, destructive feelings, being lost, stuck, or abandoned. Please treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. That's it. Superconscious, please treat all chakras together, all resistance and all chakras to our true choice of health and vitality. Treat in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. That's feeling really good there. There's some resistance around there, being scared. Superconscious, can you please treat that in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history? Please treat all family history, gains, judgments, secondary intentions, all events, all emotions from the past and the future too. Please treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Also, please treat broken promises from the past, broken agreements, the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Excellent. Superconscious, please ground all the memories we've touched today and reconnect everything back into the matrix of the universe, including memories 1, 2, and 3. All other memories, shadow memories, past memories, family memories, all memories, thank you. And now what I want you to do is step into your desired reality of the actions you're taking to have more of this choice. Step into what it is for you. Experience these actions. What am I having and doing to have more health and vitality? What actions am I taking? Step into that and just notice what you notice. Notice how beautiful it is just having it all. And then what I'd like you to do is take a big breath. A big breath, wiggle your toes, and come on back. Open your eyes. Take a big breath and just notice that change. And just remember, as we take that change, when we remove the emotions and feelings, it's no longer there. We simply have wisdom, which is a really powerful thing. So if you want to throw in the chat, what number are you now? When you come back with us, you were a number. You could have been a 4, 7, 8, whatever it may be. Put the first number and then the second number in the chat so you can actually see that move. Share it with us, would be fantastic. I know when I first started doing a lot of this work, I was up around the 8, 9s and the 10s in health and vitality because I had some stuff I had to clear. And once I'd done that, everything changed completely. So it was pretty cool. Awesome, 4 to 2. So we've halved that resistance, Rose. That's awesome. Are you feeling energetic from the chakra clear? Yeah, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful, that chakras. When our chakras are on side, and you probably, if you can remember that, going through that process with the chakras, each chakra has its own job. You know, if we're suffering from depression, it's this chakra. Suffering from, lack of guilt, it's another. Short of love, it's another. Can't speak out in clouds to groups of people, it's another. So we just have to go through and find out all that resistance that's in here, so it's easier to have more of what you want. Oh, that's excellent, Julie. That's 7 to 1. That's awesome. 3 to 2, Julie. Thank you. That's awesome. So for those that don't know, if we look at the number here, 5 in the middle, which is our middle center here, if we have a resistance number between 5 and 10, it's really hard to take action on health and vitality because there's too much resistance. So after doing these processes, we remove that resistance, because pretty much the resistance, I guess you would call, is your problems. It's your problems that's in the way of creating this. And by doing this work over a period of 6 to 12 months max, you can remove it all. You certainly notice a big difference in 4 to 6 weeks, but it's really around that 3-month mark. Well, it was for me. It took me 6 months that really noticed it, which is pretty cool. So if anyone would like to come and join me on a one-on-one for free, you're welcome to. It's no problem. I don't mind doing that for this group. And you can get to choose anything you want to work on in here. Today we did health and vitality. If you want to work on relationships, money, building a business online, whatever it may be, then reach out, have a free one-on-one with me, and we can do a recode or another process that I'm certified in doing to remove more of these problems, so it's easier to take action on what you love. So Kurs, thank you very much. He's put the link in there. So who's keen to have a one-on-one? Who would like to come and have a whole hour of Greg time? You're so welcome to, if you like. If anyone wants to, click on the link. And thank you so much for being here today. Have anyone got any questions at all? Throw in the chat if you want to. Happy to answer them. I can actually, for those watching the recording, thanks very much for being here, and go and take action. I'll just stop this recording.